Frank Leboeuf joins us. Frank, a lot has happened since you've been away. Actually, not a lot has happened, but let's talk about what has happened at Manchester United in the fact that your fellow countryman, Raphael Varane, has officially joined Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. How's he going to fit in?
Well, I think it's a very good signing for Manchester United. I mean, that guy has proven during his career that he can win trophies, that he has is at the top level. And I think with Maguire, he can make a very good pair. He's very fast, so he can cover Maguire. You know, if Maguire is a little bit too slow, they're very strong. They're going to be both very strong in the air, and they like to go forward as well. So they can match very well, and it's definitely a plus for Manchester United. Now the question, and I want to see that, will I'm going to see Varane from Real Madrid a little bit fragile without Sergio Ramos, or will I see Varane with the national team in 2018 being the real skipper of the national team? I don't know. We'll see. But I wish him the best. I think he's going to be a plus for Manchester United, that's for sure.
Frank, we saw some pundits, indeed, well, I suppose the minority of pundits in England, suggesting it's a big step up going from Real Madrid to Manchester United with regards to La Liga to the Premier League.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I guess you don't agree with that?
No, I don't. Well, especially when you play for Real Madrid, that you won 4 Champions League, that you won 3 Liga, and you play for Real Madrid. No, I wouldn't say that. The Premier League is my favorite championship, but you have to accept the fact that La Liga is maybe at the same level. And before, like 2 or 3 years ago, was even better than the Premier League for me.
How does it work, Steve, with regards to defensive partnerships? Because you could say, oh, they take a long time to develop, but Ruben Dias and John Stones seem to hit it off very quickly last season. Is there any way in guessing or working out whether or not they're going to click quickly, or is it just something you kind of almost leave to fate?
It really comes down to, number one, just on your own, as a defender, having a good starting position.
Okay.
And if you do that, then you start taking care of other things. So now you can start thinking about your partner. Now you can start reading him. So, you know, with good partnerships, you can read when they're on their game. You can read when they're off their game. You can tell just by little movements, whether they're in the right starting position, for example, whether you have to talk to them and you have to pull them in. So it really becomes...
Is there an alpha within that centre-back partnership?
I think there's always one who kind of dominates the other, to be honest with you. And I think Varane, having played with Ramos, has been used to, not dominate's the wrong word, he's been used to being second fiddle, which is not a great way to put it either. And I think that's what will happen with Maguire, because Maguire clearly is the guy who's the talker, who sorts everything out. And I think that actually might be quite a good thing for Varane, because he's not coming into a situation where his partner is a newcomer or inexperienced, then he's not expected to be running the whole show. So I think it'll make it easier for Varane to step into his Manchester United jersey.
Do you agree, Frank? How did it work with centre partnerships with you in the past?
I totally agree, and it was pretty easy for all the teammates that I had, but the only one it was more difficult was with Marcel Desailly, because of his career, because of his character, and because I was covering him most of the time, because on top of the chemistry that you have to find, there is a natural instinct that you have. Some are more defensive in a way, they like to have the strikers in front of them and mark them, and others, like me, it's more like the old sweeper that we used to, as we used to name the players, to cover the other one. And the sweeper is more the leader of the defense. So even with Marcel Desailly, I was able to command him and to ask him to do stuff, even if he didn't want to do it. But I don't know what's going to happen between Raphael and Harry Maguire, but I really agree. I agree with with Stevie, because I think Varane used to do that job where Sergio Ramos liked to cover everybody. So he's going to be following, I think, Maguire's orders, and it's going to suit him very well because he knows how to do that. He did it with Ramos.
The bookmakers, Frank, still have Manchester United as fourth favourites despite the acquisition of Varane and, of course, Jadon Sancho as well. Do you agree they're still behind Liverpool, Chelsea and City?
I would say so, yes. I have a question mark about Chelsea and about their forward, you know. Depends really what the forward's going to do next season, because they didn't have a good season. Chelsea won the Champions League with a bad attack, I would say, or average players who can do the better than they did, but had a very average season. Werner, Havertz, Ziyech, and some others, Abraham, had a very average season, and they won the Champions League with that. But Chelsea is second, yes, if they have the Werner that we saw in Leipzig, the Havertz that we saw before in his former club, and Ziyech the same for when he was playing for Amsterdam. Otherwise, I don't see Chelsea second. But Manchester United, I don't know. You know, it can be a surprise. They finished second. That was already a surprise, but it was a special season. With if the pandemic doesn't want to play the odd game, should be normal to see Manchester United finishing fourth. Yeah.
Frank, you mentioned Chelsea there. Rumours, of course, suggesting that they're in for Koundé from Sevilla. The question that I'd have for you, is this someone that they really need, considering defensively they were excellent last season, as you mentioned, in attack? Would it not be better to take this money and go, right, boom, let's really go for someone like Haaland?
Yeah, maybe I would agree with you, but the season is long. You don't know what Thiago Silva is going to do this season, if he's not going to be injured, if he's going to last all season long. But they have lots of players. Christensen, Zuma, James, Azpilicueta, Emerson, Chilwell, and now maybe Koundé.
Do you like Koundé, Frank? Is he a good player?
He's a fantastic player. Yeah, he has everything. He's a warrior. He never gives up, and he's also very good with the ball. He has everything, and he's for sure a future. So it's maybe an opportunity for Chelsea to get him for maybe not this season, but the next season. So I don't know what Koundé wants to do in his life. If he's ready to be on the bench more than he thinks he's going to be, I don't know. It's up to him. But it's a good signing for Chelsea if he comes to
Frank, if they pay that money for him, he's got to start, isn't he? He's not going to sit on the bench.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know, Christensen had a fantastic Euro, did well. Thiago Silva is the skipper of that team. You have Azpilicueta who does the job, and so nobody deserves to be on the bench at the back of the Chelsea team. They've done fantastically last season. So do you think it's normal to put Thiago Silva on the bench or Christensen on the bench? I don't think so. And I forgot the German guy. Sorry.
Rudiger.
Help me out, please.
Rudiger.
Yeah, Rudiger. You want to put Rudiger on the bench? Come on, it's impossible. The guy had a fantastic season. We never thought he would come back at that level. So nobody deserves to be on the bench, and it's not because Koundé comes that he's going to play.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.